what's going on, guys? It's Jack here. It has been a while since I've talked to you guys here on YouTube. I have been so swamped, so I apologize. I miss you all so damn much. I've been busy with the new audiobook that I finally completed after a year and a half. The Vampire Jack Townson, Fame Has Its Price. It's available everywhere now and Audible, hopefully when this video goes live. We'll see. On top of that, I've also been really busy with the film project Across the Veil, our feature film that is taking place in Draconia in the Vampire Jack Townson series, a little further ahead of time, where Annie Lionheart crosses into the veil. But that's not what this video is actually about. This video is actually about another project that I have just about completed. Yes, I know. I'm constantly working. But it's because I love it and because you guys support me so damn much. No, it is about Forever Night, my second novel in the Vampire Jack Townson series. However, this isn't the second novel technically. Fame Has Its Price was, or is, technically 0.5. It is kind of like a prequel. You see Jack where he was. He tells you his story from how he became a vampire back in New York. Forever Night is actually number 1 in the series. Our first step into Draconia, this sprawling dark fantasy world that I have created painstakingly and lovingly, that the community has helped me so deeply to create. This world of night and dusk, of terror and monsters beyond your imagination, adventure, romance, and comedy, and found family as well. So, 2 reasons I'm here today. One of the reasons is that we're actually going to be reading in an ASMR kind of off the cuff way, chapter 1 of the new novel. Yes, that's right. You're going to watch me fumble and bumble my way through chapter 1, and it's going to be a fun time. But also, because the name of the book I've been saying has been Forever Night. But it's not. Why? Forever Night is taken by a lot of people, and honestly, it felt a little too generic for what the story actually was, which is not a generic story at all. It's complicated and deep and unique. Actually, extremely unique. And I know I'm glazing myself a little bit, but I mean it. It is my favorite thing I've ever created. No, it didn't feel right. So instead, I'm going to announce the name here first, for the first time ever. The name of the first book in the Draconia series is Ever Dusk, the Light Slayer. Nifty, huh? Ever Dusk is going to be a trilogy of stories of Jack's early life in Draconia, following his adventures with his manor of mystery and his monsters called the Degenerates, going on a very important mission to stop a conspiracy from taking root in their land, to stop light-wielding zealots from destroying everything they love and that they've come to hold dear, unraveling a mystery so deep that you won't see the twists and turns coming. And I am so excited for you guys to step foot into Draconia for the first time. So, with that said, also make sure you go and pre-order it. It's out everywhere for pre-order. With that said, oh my God. With that said, the book is going to be massive. Let me talk more about the book for a second. The book is going to be massive. It is 700 pages, filled with art, beautiful art pieces from amazing artists that have actually created fan art for me in the past. And I actually wanted to hire them. And actually, work with them personally because they've done such an amazing job. And the stuff they're coming up with is, oh my God, it is amazing. And not only that, but the book is such a massive fantasy world that I want you to have a map. I want you to be able to figure out where you would be in this dark fantasy world, this world of Everdusk, and figure out where you belong or what you would be. So a map kind of felt right. So without further ado, why don't we read chapter 1 of Everdusk, the Light Slayer, shall we? Transition! We're back! Aha, a microphone. I bet you didn't see that coming. Anyway, let's do this thing, huh? Fully voice acted by me. Chapter 1. The King in Red. On the edge of reality sits a world far from our own, ripped apart by the treachery of ages past, a place of nightmare and darkness. Draconia. Burdened to lie under eternal night, this place is beyond salvation. Yet, far across its blighted fields and haunted forests sits a place unlike any other. Night casts a shroud of impenetrable darkness over the valley, as if even the moon dares not venture beyond the safety of its tufted nest of clouds. The air is thick with an eerie stillness, broken only by the faint rustling of leaves as they whisper ancient secrets to the night. Deep within the heart of this foreboding vale, a lonely manor lies nestled between decrepit tree husks, its presence both unsettling and mysterious. The old structure stands alone, transfixed in time, a scar on the face of the land, its weathered facade a testament to the passage of the ages. A chilling breeze sweeps through the overgrowth, rustling the leaves and whispering forgotten secrets. As the moon rises, its pale light casts eerie shadows across the ancient stone walls. Inside, a towering figure stalks past dimly lit rooms, each step echoing through the darkened corridors. Every shadowy corner is filled with curious, gleaming stares as faces of various mystical races stare down the zenith of the form, watching as the man takes his evening stroll through the manor's maze of passages and secrets. Floorboards creak underfoot as he goes, a sense of age-worn mystery enveloping the place. His claws reach brass door handles, bony hooks digging into the crevices within the wood, unleashing the shadows within unto a world twisted by darkness and stolen long ago from the soft warmth of light. A place reserved exclusively for the unholy to tread. A world of monsters. Those fingers dance across the frame of the door, their pads stroking the surface as the dark figure contemplates in silence. Out into the murky strides, wind kicking his burgundy long coat into the air, sending its hem to dance behind his booted heels. He emerges under the moonlight. The Vampire Jack Townson, the undead king. Long strands of raven curls scatter across his shoulders in rivers of black, like splashes from an overturned inkwell, the jagged edge of the quill sending the little pot toppling, the mess staining the parchment that is his coat. Eyes of burning mischief pierce the perpetual night, their otherworldly glow illuminating his chiseled features, a flawless pale complexion like living stone in red. With a grace that seems to defy the laws of nature, Townson ventures out onto the walkway. An energy buzzes about his edges that is altogether different from others like him. It's an aura that screams of chaos and passion. The corners of his mouth turn up in an ever-present Cheshire grin, his eyes holding a glimmer of madness. Good morning, Neverland! The words gush from twin pale pillows as he pushes them out on a breath, his greeting meant to be heard by none other than himself. Leather heels collide with cracked stone as he steals away from the old manor house, the sky above like marbled slate, a far cry from the memory of once shimmering sunlight, now gone from him forever. Jack weaves a trail through the tangled branches of creeping gray dread, slicing through the haunted forests, a cardinal and a snowstorm. From just beyond where he wades, fiery eyes cut through the dim moonlight, watching his approach. The glare halts Townson just before the tree line breaks. An intruder disturbs the unholy quiet, silhouetted just beyond the Lord's reach. Jack remains still, his boiling, bloody gaze fixed on the form as it draws near, leaves kicking into the air as it breaches the muted light of the moon. Townson's face twists into a rugged smile then, hearty laughter breaking through the stony base of his throat as he recognizes the trespasser at once. Fanged jaws open to release his chortle louder into the air, sending a cluster of blackbirds into a frenzy of flight. "D'Artagnan!" he whispers, the fog clearing at last to reveal the Hellsteed with a mane of midnight. Jack bounds toward the familiar beast with a much lighter step, his fingers trailing down his torso to loop into his armored belt, his thumb hooking near the large silver buckle in the shape of a vampire bat. "David sent you to save me the walk," he deduces. "How kind of him. Still no saddle, I see." His hand slips from the belt to lay flat against the steed's thick neck, claws combing lovingly through its luxurious mane. "Townson!" the stallion begins in a thunderous baritone. "You have been summoned. Leave your childish games at the Manor of Mystery. The master wishes to have his ally upon his doorstep with haste." Its voice, while deep and resonant, is weathered by time, clattering through long horse teeth and slobbering jowls. "And don't call me that." It sighs in deep irritation. Jack snickers at the horse's frustration. He grips a handful of the loose mane, using it as leverage to launch himself airborne, landing onto the horse's back with a heavy thud, his red coat falling gently over the animal's rear. "What?" the Lord inquires with feigned confusion. "You don't like the name?" The beast turns from the edge of the haunted wood, its head shaking from side to side, forcing Jack's hands to slip and fumble to keep hold as they start moving. "No! You know my name. Use it!" It practically spits as it begins to trot through the plains of ash. The rider finds himself nearly slipping from his perch, trying to keep balance upon the back of his companion. "I hate that name. It's so damn long," Townson gripes. "It's like wiping your ass with a pine cone. Besides, D'Artagnan is a musketeer, a brave warrior and a dashing fellow, like yourself." The Hellsteed growls, smoke trailing from its long nostrils. "Use my name or I'll stick you in a bog somewhere before we reach this city." Jack mimics the horse's grumbling, just as stubborn... Jack mimics the horse's grumbling, just as stubborn as the beast between his legs. "Fine! Zaelthaloth, Zaelthaloth, Zaelthaloth. It's a stupid name, there's nothing sexy about it," he whines. Zaelthaloth groans and breaks into a gallop, long patches of silver grass bracketing the dry soil falling away as they fly. Jack clutches tight to the mane, his long curls bouncing with each impact, his vagabond coat billowing in the wind as the horse breaches supernatural speeds far beyond the capabilities of what Jack can attain. The world becomes a blur, light and color almost indistinguishable, as village after village, passerby after passerby, whisk away, unaware of the infernal beast and its undead rider. Jack squints as the velocity becomes too much for even him. "Ugh, you're doing this on purpose!" he growls over the wind, a stray bug shooting into the mouth. Jack squints as the velocity becomes too much for even him. "You're doing this on purpose!" he growls over the wind, a stray bug shooting into his... Fuck. Jack squints as the velocity becomes too much for even him, "You're doing this on purpose," he growls over the wind, a stray bug shooting into his mouth as he protests. Xaelthaloth whinnies in a laughter. "Mind your mouth, young Townson!" The horse's speed nearly doubles, moving so fast his hooves seem to hover above the ground's gravelly surface. In mere moments, their chaotic journey comes to an abrupt halt, Jack nearly flailing forward through the air, if it weren't for his steadfast hold of Xaelthaloth's mane. The Crimson King's hair is a blackbird's nest of a mess as he reels, waiting for his surroundings to stop spinning. "We've arrived," the Hell Steed announces, laughter still dancing upon the tip of its crusted tongue. Just beyond its hooves stands a massive iron gate. It is the only entry between a break in the sprawling stone wall that stretches so high it seems to blot out the sky. "Thanks," Jack grumbles. "I can make it from here." And I still stand by what I said. I like D'Artagnan a lot better. It's sexy. He prods yet again as he attempts to dismount. The steed jerks forward just enough to cause Townsend to nearly topple face first into the dirt. However, with the thrust of his hands, he stops himself mid-hover just before hitting the ground. Pushing against an invisible force, face and palms mere inches from the gravel, Jack rights himself, dusting off his coat with a huff and a side eye at his companion. Xaelthaloth begins to trot into the fog. "I'm a horse, dear vampire lord. It's a strange thing to want my name to be sexy, or to think of me in such a way." The stallion's massive hooves slam into stone, sending dust and fodder every which way as the beast vanishes into the darkness from whence it came. Jack, unrelenting of course, retorts with the full power of his lungs. "It's still weird! It's also weird to name you after a made-up word in Scrabble!" The vampire lord balls his fist with the ferocity of his words, but Xaelthaloth is already swallowed by shadow. Jack will have to continue this argument another night. "Mother!" He pauses. "Right. What was I doing?" His anger's shrill cry is thwarted by his own realization that a much more important matter lingers before him. Toward the large gate he treads, cuffed boots kicking fresh mud from the recent rainfall onto their leathery toes. "Hey! Open the..." "Hey!" Jack shouts. His hands "Hey!" Jack shouts, his hands finding a purchase. Again. "Hey!" Jack shouts, his hands finding purchase upon his tightly set hips. "Open the damn..." Before he's able to proceed with his tantrum, the gargantuan iron structures begin to shift, giving a weighty and rather forlorn groan as it shifts just wide enough to allow a single form to sidle through to the strange city's limits. Jack lumbers on, hands swinging at his sides as he scans the watch points and the lofty gatehouses far above his head in search of their operators. Before him spans a city of darkness sprawling out in all directions. Stone buildings crafted by hand are erected around winding dirt paths. On the outer reaches, towers threaten to pierce the clouds as they stab towards the sky. In the town's center sits a castle keep, adorned by billowing red tapestries that display the symbol of the blood-scorned. A mangled black claw preparing to strike down its foe with pride and accuracy. Flickers of magic slither between the bent fingers, pulsing with a scarlet glow depicted in the embroidery. While the city itself holds a sort of unsettling energy, a specific magic that taints even the wickedest of souls, Jack's smile never leaves his face. Determination and excitement retain the balance in his step as he continues his way up to the castle's entry. So guys, that is half of chapter 1 of my new novel up for pre-order now, The Vampire Jack Townson, Everdusk, The Light Slayer. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. I'll do this again. We'll finish the rest of the chapter, do a follow-up. Maybe we'll even read some other things like Blood and Rose, Death and Lilies. Maybe we'll even read some Fame Has Its Price if you enjoyed this. Make sure, guys, to like, follow, and subscribe. Follow on all of the socials. And make sure that you're a part of our Discord. You can email us here, right here, I think, to become part of the Discord community. We are almost 1,000 members strong. And if you join, next week's video is actually going to be the Vampire Jack Townson reacts to vampire memes. So if you have any crunchy, dank vampire memes, make sure you join the Discord so you can put them in the vampire memes or the dank memes section. And guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you go check out the audiobook. Make sure you go check out the music. Make sure you go pre-order it. Make sure you go and pre-order Not Forever Night, Everdusk, which the name will be changing very, very soon when this video drops. Let me know what you think of the name below. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys all across the haunted veil.